But the ad was from a company called Damak Properties. Invest in a property in Dubai. Manu has been, talking, up Dubai and how beautiful it is. What a lovely country.
Sure.
Segregation between men and women. That's where I want my investment property to be.
That's true. Welcome back to the Critical Banter podcast. This is the podcast where we take the very best bits from your favorite late night shows and package them into one single podcast. On today's episode, two brand new segments. First one is called False or True. You can figure out what that is. Second one is where we tell some stories on a new segment called Hood Talk. But before that trap that we got, me and Miguel, we have Rowie.
G'day.
And finally, we have back Senthurin.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
I thought you permanently left, given how long you were gone.
Oh, I was only gone probably a week longer than you went for, so
A couple more weeks.
No, it's good to be back. I did see there was 1 week we had my replacement being my cousin, Triple Cheese.
What did you think of his,
He had some rebuttals.
Yeah, they're all fake. It's all.
He's the liar.
He's absolutely the liar.
Because he can't come back and defend himself.
Yeah, exactly. He shan't be coming back at all.
I will say, Sen's got he has a glow about him, actually.
I caught up with some friends last time. The first thing they said was, "You look darker."
You actually do, though.
It was at night, and they're like, "I just saw a shadow coming towards me." It was good to see you as well, mate.
But if you thought you were going to hear travel stories in the log, you're sadly mistaken.
No, you're going to have to wait for Hood Talk to hear those stories.
Or false or true.
So I want to hear your
Exactly, or false or true, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to hear what's been happening with you guys.
I got a couple of yarns from this week. Has anyone heard of the app Temu?
I've heard of, but I don't know what it is.
All right, so basically I was at work. So I only go to the office like once a month. So I was at my once a month office. And it's good because you meet your colleagues and they tell you stuff you never heard of before, like Temu. So my ears were perked because he said that he bought like an hoodie essentially for his daughter. And he paid $3 for this hoodie on Temu. So I decided, I love a good bargain. So I decided to investigate. It's like, from what I can gather, it's like Aliexpress, where it's like bulk electronics, bulk clothing, bulk everything for just super cheap. But they've just made it a really fun, little app for you to go through.
Little cutesy app.
So I'll go through Temu, right? And I am seeing like unbelievable deals, right? Wallets for $7, AirPod cleaners for $2, night vision goggles for $40, right? My ears are just, my ears and eyes are perking up deluxe.
Are these like real items?
They are real
or
items.
Are they replica?
Oh, no, sorry. No, they're definitely not.
As in, I believe they physically exist.
Yeah.
Ooh, shop like a billionaire is the tag
slogan.
And I'll tell you what, you do feel like a billionaire because you're going through Temu and everything is just it's just undervalued, right? So I'm going through, scrolling across, adding a couple things to my cart. Then I get a little spin the wheel thing.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, gamification, don't mind if I do.
Mini game.
Yeah, a little jackpot,
It's like
$100. So I've spun the wheel, right? And the options are like $20, $50, $100.
Oh.
And then I've landed on the $100. And I'm sitting here like, you beauty. The tagline was get 100 AUD, right? So I've clicked on, I will get my 100 AUD. And I'm like, it's because it's, how it's for new users, they just give you all these discounts and it's like a newish app, right?
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, I love this stuff. I remember when Uber Eats first came out and they were giving out free, vouchers, like $30 vouchers. And then if you referred a friend, you get another $30. And so I just referred 50 friends and ate for free my second year of university. So it's like that. So I'm on Temu getting $100 and it's like, get your $100. But then there's a catch. They're like, buy 3 items and get your $100. And I'm like, no dramas when everything's $2.
Yeah, I buy 3 hoodies.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here like, what am I choosing? So I've bought myself a nice toothbrush for $2, AirPod cleaners, and then I bought myself like a wallet or something like that.
It's for what? Maybe $5. So you're still $90 in the red. In the black. You're
like
winning
$10.
still.
Absolutely. I was $10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, whatever, right? So I've purchased the items, and then the problem with these apps, like AliExpress and Temu, is that it's going to take a month for it to come. But I'm like, whatever. I've literally paid $10 for 3 items.
Yeah.
None of which I needed.
Non-essential items.
Yeah, but they'll come when they come. And then I get then this is what really angered me because
Here we go.
$100 is not a $100 voucher. It's $100 split into 5 coupons. And the coupons are like spend $20, get $20. Spend $30, get $10. Do you know what I mean? Off. And so, you know, I've been done a little bit by Temu and I'm not super happy about it.
Because now you're going to make 5 more purchases.
Yeah, exactly. So now...
You're not actually profiting either.
No. Like I thought it was $100 free.
Yeah.
You got to buy to get, you know, discount when in reality, it's not really a discount. So Temu, extremely unethical app. You know...
I mean, not to mention, you probably gave all your data to the CCP. So
Yeah, it is like a TikTok.
You're talking about it now, it's probably minus some social credits as well.
Probably. So I just want to give everyone a quick disclaimer. Temu might look like the bee's knees, but just be aware of their scams. Because I was talking to a friend of mine who uses Temu, and apparently every time you spin that wheel, you get the jackpot, like the $100 jackpot. So you literally can't not get it.
Dare I suggest an age-old saying, you know, if it's too good to be true, it is.
Oh, and that leads me excellently to my second story,
Here we
right?
go.
So I was scrolling Instagram on a weary Wednesday evening, and I get an ad, and usually I just scroll through the ads. But the ad was from a company called Damak Properties. Invest in a property in Dubai. And I was like, oh, look, I don't really have a house in Sydney, but Dubai might be cheaper. And Manu has been, you know, talking, you know, up Dubai and how beautiful it is. What a lovely country.
Sure.
You know, segregation between men and women, you know, that's where I want my investment property to be.
that's true.
And so I've clicked on the ad, and not because of that, but because there was a little disclaimer in the corner saying, we're not a win, but get free flights from Sydney to Dubai and 3 nights accommodation for free.
That's pretty good.
So, you know, I don't want to.
Alarm bells weren't ringing at this point.
Not yet, because at this point you told me about the filthy wealth that this country had. Like maybe Damak Properties can afford to just bring people from Australia, prospective buyers, for free.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was like, great idea. What I would like a free trip to Dubai. So I've gone in there, filled out the contact form, put in my name, email, phone number, that sort of thing.
Real details.
Real details. I want the free flight to Dubai.
Right.
I'm not going to buy a property, but I would like to inspect, you know,
Giving your details to Damak.
Damak,
Right,
real
yeah,
estate
go on.
agents or
How do
whatever.
you smell Damak, by the way?
DAMAC. I'll give you some lowdown and stats on Damak Properties a bit later on. But
I wouldn't go on the website just yet, Sen.
not 2 minutes later, I get a call. You know, ring a ding ding. Here comes the king. Tariq
Hey?
is the name of the man who called me.
Isn't that like a Malaysian tea?
Yeah, that's Tariq. But Tariq has rung me up and he's like, brother, I heard you're interested in a property in Dubai. And I'm like, absolutely. So now I've got this backstory about what kind of property I want. He's like, what are you looking for?
What'd you say?
I'm like, I want a 3 better.
Oh, here we go.
You know? And he's like, oh, like, are you do you have your own salary or, are you a salaried employee or do you own your own business? And I was like, I'm both, brother.
True.
Business right here.
Correct, Mundo. So, you know, he asked me what my income level was and I'm spouting out, you know, multiple hundreds of thousands more than I actually earn.
Yeah, go on.
Just to show that I'm a serious buyer.
Yeah. Of course.
And then Tariq's like, beautiful, mate. You know, what we'll do is we'll get you up, set up with a call with our relationship manager on Teams tomorrow. It'll take 15 minutes. And so I hung up the phone and I went to bed very excited for
your Teams call.
Yeah. I then woke up and as you know, I'm a very impulsive man. My, desires change like the wind. So, come 9 a.m. the next day, I'm not as excited, to be perfectly
You
honest.
don't want to be a property owner in Dubai anymore.
I don't want to. And, anyway, I didn't want to be a property owner in Dubai, but,
Did you still want the flights?
I still wanted the flights, but I also didn't want them that badly enough to talk to this company.
For 15 minutes.
For 15 minutes. Because I looked at the reviews of Damak Properties and it's like this company is a scam. It's literally rated 2.5 stars on Google. And all the reviews recently are like, these guys took my money and didn't give me the house. Or they gave me the house and like it's falling apart. And, like buying a house, well, it's like a marriage. You only get like 1 to 3 of them in your lifetime.
How's your marriage?
Yeah, exactly.
Either or.
So I'm looking at this and I'm like, all right, I probably shouldn't get into business, even if they are offering free flights. Like, who knows? They might just take my passport and just get me straight in Dubai. So whatever. I've then WhatsApped because they do business on WhatsApp, and I'm like, Tariq, mate, actually, I'm not super interested, man. You can jog on, right? So I've given him that message. Then I get that day 47 calls.
Oh my
from
God.
+97. Tariq is really trying to contact me.
Oh my God.
So my phone's just constantly ringing, right? And I'm like, this is so annoying. So on the 48th call, I've decided to pick up. and I've reiterated my intentions. I'm not interested in buying a property in Dubai.
Stern.
Very stern. Tariq, great salesman. I've got to give him that, right? Objection handled perfectly.
Yeah, you give him your, what did he say? You give him your objection. He goes,
brother, I understand, but we have plenty of clients from Australia who purchase property in Dubai and love it, right? And gave me some spiel. And I'm like, you know what? It's 15 minutes. Let's just, and at this point I'm thinking about content for the pod, right?
Oh my God.
So I'm like, let's just jump on the Teams call.
So you just wasted this guy's time. You were going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, I was going to, no, I wasn't.
he got sold by
I got sold.
Didn't take much selling though.
Not that much selling because I'm like, oh, look, I may as well use this. So I've jumped on the call. He's like, all right, we'll set up a call at 7:45 and you can meet Hussein, my boss, the relationship manager.
Sure.
So 7:45 rocks around and he's like, all right, thank you so much for joining. He's asked me, at this point I have 3 kids, who are looking to grow up in Dubai.
Did they look? Wait, was it so you could see them?
No, I had my camera off.
Did they have their camera off?
No. They were
So you
on.
could see them.
I
Did they
could see
look reputable?
Yeah, they were like both wearing suits. They had like cool headsets on. They looked pretty reputable. I
real
would say.
background or virtual background?
Virtual background.
That's
Then you don't know where they are, bro. They could be in underwear in the fucking
Exactly.
basement or some shit, man.
Maybe that was a red flag. But so, 15 minutes rolls by and he's showing me all these villas. And I'll be completely frank, they looked pretty good. Like the houses did look nice.
Sure, they did.
Then an hour rolls by.
An hour.
Then 2 hours rolls by. Then the third hour is when this...
What's going
What
on
are
in
you
these
talking?
hours, bro?
Yeah.
Dude, it's not me talking. I'm sitting there, headphones in. I'm realistically playing chess,
Okay, right.
and watching a video.
It's like a work meeting.
It's like a work meeting. And he's just talking to me about these properties. At some points, I didn't even have it on my screen. And he was like, do you like this property? I was like, yes, brother, that looks great. So, I wasn't even looking at this stuff. But 3 hours rolls by and I'm now a little bit fed up of hearing Hussein and Tariq talking
Tell you
in my
about
ear.
the 37th villa.
Yeah.
After the 40th condominium, you're like, enough, mate.
Enough is enough, right? So I'm like, can we talk about the free flights, please? And he's like, yes, this is at the end of the presentation. So again, he goes on for another half hour. And the end of the presentation was there. Now, I'll put my hand up and say, I was at some point expecting a free flight to Dubai. And, my fault for thinking there was no strings attached. The strings attached was to the tune of $30,000. So what they wanted was a $30,000 expression of interest.
Hey?
As that you're serious.
Intent to buy.
So it's a
sort of thing.
deposit. It's essentially a deposit.
No, because then you have to pay the deposit afterwards. So
But the 30 grand goes into the...
yeah, surely
as part of the deposit.
Where does this $30,000 go?
yeah, I'm sure it goes into the deposit.
Right.
So it's just an expression of interest. And he's like, he's like 80,000 dirham. And I did the calculation, $30,000. And he's like, should be nothing for a millionaire like you, essentially, because that's what I've led him to believe. And so I'm sitting there like, look, this is just getting silly. But if I have to pay $30,000 and I get to see the flights and they refund me, then maybe I'll consider it.
Brother, from what you've said, I don't think you're getting a refund.
Yeah. Well, and also, surely you're flying first class at this point then.
No,
You can't be seeing an economy
That's what
and
I
stumping up $30,000.
Then the second string that they attached was, if you don't buy a property on that trip, we will take out the flights and accommodation from that $30,000 deposit and then give it back to you. So realistically, nothing in life is free.
Yeah.
Right? I was never planning to buy a 3-bedder in Dubai. But by the way, 3-bedder in Dubai are real cheap.
How much?
by the
Yeah,
way.
exactly. How
I'm
much
sure
are
it
they
is.
asking?
They have fucking millions of places that are empty.
Yeah, a couple $100,000.
Like AUD.
Yeah, like 500,000, 600,000 AUD for a 3-bedder in Dubai.
Brother, you take a 15-minute taxi, half the buildings are empty. Like full lease, empty buildings.
That's what it's for. But anyways, I'd just like to give a quick warning to anyone seeing
Life lesson.
Yeah, Damak. First of all, nothing in life is free. There are always strings attached. Second of all, don't go into business with Damak. And Tariq, please stop calling. That's all I ask. Alrighty, boys, this is false or true, not to be confused with true or false. They're completely separate games. I've got a number of statements that I want to read out to you, and you got to decide whether they are in fact false or true. As always, we'll be doing a rapid fire. So, Sen, I'm going to get you to go first.
All right.
In 60 seconds, how many can you name? Then Manu will get 60 seconds. And we'll go until my questions run out.
I think with
Excellent.
this, right? I'm not going to even try and think. I'm just going to say true or false. It's a 50-50.
It's odds. You're going
It's
off
a numbers
odds.
game. It's a numbers game. Exactly.
So realistically, it's
I
how
hope you
fast
have
can
enough
I
questions.
read these questions out.
All right.
How many true or false questions can you get right in 60 seconds? Your time starts now. The atomic number for lithium is 17.
True.
False, it's 3. The cross between a horse and a zebra is called a hobra.
False.
False, correct. The black box in a plane is actually black.
True.
False, they're orange. Alumophobia is the fear of garlic.
True.
Correct. Prince Harry is taller than Prince William.
No, false.
Correct. The star sign Aquarius is represented by a tiger.
Nah, false.
True, correct. Sorry, correct. Meryl Streep has won 2 Academy Awards.
False.
Correct. Marrakesh is the capital of Morocco.
True.
False.
Oh.
Idina Menzel sings Let It Go 21 times in Let It Go.
Adele Dazeem. True.
Correct. Waterloo has the greatest number of tube platforms in London.
As in Sydney, Waterloo, or
Waterloo City doesn't have a train station.
false?
That's true. M&M stands for Mars and Moordale.
Sorry?
Mars and Moordale, M&M.
False.
Correct. Gin is typically included in a Long
True.
Island iced tea. Correct. The unicorn
False.
is a national... True.
Oh no, I knew that
There
one.
you
Damn it.
go. Sandy got 8.
All right, not bad.
8 in 60 seconds, Marty. How are you feeling about that?
Going with Send's tactic, just send it. Whether I know it or not.
Nah, sometimes I actually listen to the question because I knew that last one.
What was going to be the
The
question?
unicorn is the animal of Scotland or some shit.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fair play.
All right, Manny. How many true or false questions can you get correct in 60 seconds? Your time starts now. Howard Donald is the oldest member of Take That.
False.
Wrong. The Great Wall of China is longer than the distance between London and Beijing.
True.
Correct. There are 219 episodes of Friends.
True.
False. A is the most common letter used in the English language.
True.
False. A lion's roar can be heard up to 8 kilometers away.
True.
Correct. In Harry Potter, Draco Malfoy has no siblings.
False.
Correct. Monaco is the smallest country in the world.
False.
Correct. What Do You Mean was Justin Bieber's first UK #1 single.
True.
Correct.
Oh,
the River
wow.
Seine in Paris is longer than the River Thames in London.
You were just
True.
there.
Correct. The Akara Naval is a type of orange.
False.
Wrong. True. There are 5 different blood groups.
True.
False. Cinderella was the first Disney princess.
True.
False. ASOS stands for As Seen on Screen.
True.
Correct. In the Battle of Hastings took place in 1066.
True.
Correct. H&M stands for
True.
hen and correct. Canis
True.
False.
You got to keep your eye on the timer, mate.
Well done. You got 9 there.
Oh, there we go. It's about fucking 10 million falses.
All right, let's not just start spamming true or false.
Nah,
Yeah?
I listened to a couple of them.
Yeah.
I got him. ASOS, knew that.
All right, send you down by 1.
All right.
In round 2, you got to try and surpass Manny here.
All right.
How
True.
many?
Nah. I'll listen to the questions.
How many true or false answers can you get correct in 60 seconds? Sen, your time starts now. Canis lupus is the scientific name for a wolf.
True.
False. K is worth 4 points in Scrabble.
How would I know that? True.
False. Alaska is the biggest American state in square miles.
Yeah, true.
Correct. Ariana Grande is 25 or under.
False.
Correct. Australia is wider than the moon.
False.
True.
Really?
Queen Elizabeth II is currently the second longest reigning British monarch.
True.
False. She's dead now and she's the reigning. Madonna's real name is Madonna.
False.
True. Serena Williams has more grand singles titles than Venus.
True.
Correct. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin.
Yeah, true.
Correct. Harry Styles' middle name is Edward.
False.
True. Your radius bone is in your leg.
True.
False. Coffee is made from berries.
True.
Correct. The only letter not in the periodic
False.
table is the letter J, and that's true. The small intestine is about 3.5 times the length of your body.
True.
Correct. An octopus has 3 hearts.
True.
Correct. Thomas Edison discovered
True.
gravity. False.
Trying to beat the clock. Got 7 on that one.
All right. So I'm up by 6.
I believe so.
So stand up by 6. Manny, round 2.
Here we go.
How many true or false answers can you name in 60 seconds? Your time starts now. In the animation film Finding Nemo, the main protagonist is a pufferfish.
False.
Correct. Is Mount Kilimanjaro the world's tallest peak?
False.
Correct. Spaghetto is a singular form of the spaghetti.
False.
True.
What?
Pinocchio was Walt Disney's first animated feature film in full color.
True.
False. Venezuela is home to the highest waterfall.
True.
Correct. The capital of Australia is Sydney.
False.
Correct. The longest river in the world is the Amazon.
True.
Wrong. It's the Nile. Polar bears can only live in the Arctic, not the Antarctic.
True.
Correct. The UK is almost the same size as France.
False.
Correct. Walt Disney has the record for most Academy Awards.
True.
Correct. South Africa officially has 2 capital cities.
False.
Correct. There are 3. Corn is the most widely cultivated and consumed crop on the planet.
True.
Correct. Mickey's given name was initially Milton Mouse.
True.
Wrong. It was Mortimer. The Atlantic Ocean is
False.
the word. Correct.
Done.
How many was that?
10.
Oh, that's knowledge.
All right. This is the final round.
All right.
Send you down by 4. You need a monster
I need a
round.
massive
You need like 15.
Yeah.
And I also need a shocker, I feel.
That is
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
Manu is in the box office. How many true or false questions can you get right in 60 seconds? Your time starts now. Someone who studies lightning is called a fulminologist.
False.
Wrong. Saudi Arabia is 60% desert.
True.
Wrong. The largest artery in the body is the aorta.
True.
Correct. The capital of Turkey is Ankara.
True.
Correct. The brain weighs about 10 pounds.
True.
False. The peregrine falcon is the world's fastest bird.
True.
Correct. Iron is the world's hardest natural substance.
False.
Correct. Tsunamis are caused by hurricanes in the ocean.
False.
Correct. Australia has the most variety of venomous snakes.
True.
Correct. Malala Yousafzai is the youngest person to ever receive
True.
a Nobel Peace Prize. Correct. There are 50 weeks in a year.
False.
Correct. The wettest place on Earth is located in India.
False.
Wrong. The Pacific Ocean is saltier than the Atlantic Ocean.
True.
False. Marie Curie is the only person to win the Nobel Prize in Science and Literature.
True.
False. Jupiter is the closest planet to the sun.
False.
Correct. 1/5 of the human bacteria. 1/5 of the human body is bacteria.
True.
False. The Yangtze River is
True.
China's longest. Correct. Protons have a positive charge. Electrons
True.
have negative. Correct. The angle of
False.
Correct.
There you go. There you go. Snuck in with 12.
12.
12. All right. So
How many
mine
do I
is
need?
7.
You need to. Which
7
you
to win?
should comfortably get.
7 to win, 6 to tie.
Tie. All right.
All right, Manny.
Should be quite easy for you.
Here we go. The mind games.
Nah, you've been getting 10 on average every round.
We'll see.
All right.
How many true or false answers can you name correctly in 60 seconds? Your time starts now. The lava
True.
and ash, wrong. The equator
False.
it's true as well. Almost 1/3 of a person's body weight is in their muscles.
True.
False. A molecule is made up of atoms.
True.
Correct. The hip bone is the largest bone in the human body.
True.
False. Humans can breathe oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide.
True.
Correct. Your mouth will continue to grow throughout your whole life.
True.
False. The human mouth has 32 teeth.
False.
True. Chlorophyll is why plants are green.
True.
Correct. Mars has more gravity than Earth.
True.
False. Kelvin is a unit of measurement for speed.
False.
Correct. On Earth, we see different types of the sides of the moon depending on the moon's cycle.
True.
False. The human body has 206 bones.
True.
Correct. Blue eyes are the most common in the world.
True.
False. You can know a tree's age by counting the rings on it.
True.
Correct. The large intestine is bigger than the small intestine.
False.
Correct. All babies are born with blue eyes.
False.
Correct. Hot water freezes faster than cold water.
True.
Correct. There are 9 planets on our solar system.
False.
Done.
Correct.
10.
Lovely.
Well done.
10, even though we got...
It was ropey in the middle.
It was
in the
right in
beginning.
the middle, and then you got the last like 5 or 6 in a row.
Dude, wait, how is this guy getting 10? I feel like...
Clutch.
Because Manu gets like hot streaks. He just like
Yeah,
goes on a
yeah.
roll. But I felt like there was periods of time there where he got like 6 wrong in a row.
You did. The
I
first
did,
30
I did,
seconds,
I
you were
did.
only on 2.
It's only showed me the time halfway through as a warning.
No, but these questions then were so easy. It's like, you know, are all babies' eyes blue? Like, are you serious?
Didn't Senny get oh no, it wasn't me. Capital of Australia.
Australia
or
or
some
Sydney.
shit?
Yeah,
That was you as well.
Oh,
Nah, it's
game's
fine.
the game.
Game's the
Game's
game.
the
Game's the
game.
game.
Well, congratulations, Manu. Another
you.
well-deserved victory.
Thank you.
Alrighty, we're here with Hood Talk. I know you're all wondering, trembling with anticipation of what Hood Talk could be. Even I'm wondering what Hood Talk could be. It's just the name of the segment we're going to give for travel stories, I guess, or any stories that we can't put in any other category, and that we don't want to waste at the top. So we'll put him in here. But no, I was away for a few weeks, gallivanting around Europe. And Manu's just like, maybe just give a high level overview of your trip. I'm like, all right, fine. I guess we can. We started in the UK, London and Liverpool. So I went up to Liverpool to watch a footy game. And Liverpool isn't the nicest city. Let's just put it that way. It's a bit rough around the edges.
It's like out west here.
And by edges, I mean about 80% of it. There's only really one nice part of it, and that's the dock area.
where the stadium is, or not
No.
even then?
So
Okay.
the stadium is called Anfield, and that's because the area it's in is called Anfield. And we stayed in a little hotel called Anfield Rooms. So
Yes.
we got the train up from London to Liverpool, got out the train station, and we're like, all right, let's call an Uber. So we called an Uber, and literally, for some reason, it wigged out for a second, and then it said, your driver is here, like instantly. And then we looked at the number plate, and we looked up, and it was literally the car that was already in front of us.
Are you serious?
We're like, all right, well, here we go.
That's actually that's ideal.
It was
because,
ideal. It was
Quality.
very ideal.
Quality
yeah,
service.
You rock up and it's like the taxi's waiting for you the whole time.
And it was a common theme we noticed in Liverpool. There was like 3 other Ubers we called where it was literally the car was already there in front of us somehow.
Perfect.
Great service, I must say. Anyway, this guy drove us and he drove us towards the stadium. We were like, all right, fine, that makes sense. Our hotel was literally like within walking distance of the stadium. And then we get there and he drops us off literally dead set right in front of the stadium. We're like, oh, dude, this is great. Our hotel is like, we could spit on Anfield from our hotel. So we get out, we drag our bags out and the car fucks off. And we look around and we're checking at Google Maps. And then my friend Glade, who was with me, he was like, says the hotel is 10 minutes in the other direction. And I'm like, shut up, bro. What are you talking about? You got no idea. Like, give me the phone. So I took it off him. And lo and behold, he was right. The hotel was 700 meters in the opposite direction. So this bloke just dropped us off
wherever he
he felt
He
like
just
it
picks
just
someone
left.
up and he's like, I'm done here. I'll
Yeah.
just drop you.
So me and my mate had to drag our suitcases down this cobblestone road, making like the loudest noise. I'm pretty sure my bag broke on that walk. And then we get to the hotel and it's just a red door.
Okay.
So it's like there's like a shop selling like groceries, and there's a barber, and in the middle is a red door.
Isn't that like Taken, where the red door is the...
I haven't seen Taken.
Okay, never mind. Well, the red door in Taken is like where all the prostitutes lived.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Is that
Does it make more sense?
similar vibes?
No prostitutes here, unfortunately.
Not in
On
London.
record.
Yeah, not on record. Anyway, so it was a red door, and it said Anfield Rooms, which is the name of the hotel.
Lovely.
I'm like, great. Go to open the door, doesn't open. I'm like, all right, fine. And I see there's a little safe box up there where you would have the key. So then my mate's like, oh, do you have the PIN number for it? And then I saw in one of the emails there was like a PIN number. So I'm like, all right, must be it. Put it in, try to open, doesn't open. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Let me call them. Give them a call, no answer. Lovely. So now me and my friend are standing on this middle of the road with our suitcases in this sketchy part of town, trying to look. It looks like we're breaking in.
Yeah.
So we're like pushing the door, trying to call, trying to email. And in the end, we just resorted to the most primal thing we could do, which is just fucking banging on the door and just yelling.
Yeah.
Hey, hey.
Let us in.
And somehow it worked. This old woman opened the door. She looked at us. She's like, can I help you? And we're like, we're staying here. And she's like, I have no record of you guys coming in today.
What?
And anyway, what we did was we just pushed her out of the way. Like, let us in. I'm not standing out here anymore.
Move over, grandma.
Move
Like-
out of the way. So we moved her out of the way and we came in. And then she's like, let me check my records. Like, I don't have you staying here. How long
Yeah.
are you staying here for? So really, we could have said anything. She had no idea. So we're like, we're here for 2 nights. We have the double room. And she's like, oh, well, okay, sure. Well, you got to check out by Sunday. We're like, that's not a problem.
Wait, what? No verification?
No notifications,
Here's your
nothing.
Right.
But I did check my bank account later. They did take the money. So somewhere, someone's taken my reservation, but we have no idea. And anyway, so we take our bags up this narrow ass stairway. We open the room. It's a bunk bed. So immediately we look at each other and I'm like, shoddy bottom, please. And dude, this whole like, and I think it turned out to be a hostel vibe because there was maybe 4 rooms in there and there was only 1 bathroom.
Yuck.
So shared
It
bathroom.
was a shared bathroom situation. And I think in the 2 nights we were there, I spent, I think, a grand total of 7 minutes in the bathroom. Just in out for brushing my teeth and showering. That was it.
Yeah, Senny's a notorious, picks where he shits sort of guy. doesn't-
Correct.
Dude.
Particularly with bathrooms.
And not to mention, this entire place smelled like ganja.
Ah,
Which, didn't add to it.
So sorry, hang on. Didn't you get some like premium Liverpool experience package?
That was for the stadium.
All right, so they didn't
That didn't
include.
Accommodation's
that
not
didn't
included,
include
brother.
accommodation.
Gotcha. Okay, you had to sort yourselves out.
We
for
had to
that.
sort ourselves out.
Sure.
But the beautiful thing was, from our room, if you opened the blind through the window, you could see the stadium. And that's all we needed.
lovely.
warmed our hearts. So anyway, we decided to spend the least amount of time as possible in that room.
Okay.
And so we went out, and then we were exploring the stadium, and then like we were walking around, and this like kid comes up to us, maybe 13, 14-year-old kid kind of slides up to us. He's like, "Oh, are you guys tourists?"
Oh no, here we go.
And then me and my mate like, yeah, man, we're from Australia. He's like, "Oh," and he was like a local kid because I could barely understand what he was saying. Like a very strong Scouse accent.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, have you guys walked around? Let me show you around."
Jog on, mate.
So I'm like, all right, fine, let's entertain this kid for a
Are you
bit.
serious?
Fine.
So he turned into our de facto tour guide for an hour or so.
Why is this like 80% like crime or some shit?
Well, that's the thing. We were walking, and then he was just asking us general questions, and then
Like what's your bank account details?
What's your PIN code?
And then he slid in. We were like walking.
What's your
and
mother's
talking for a bit.
birthday? Your first pet. Just out of interest.
Dude, we were walking, and he just slides in. "Oh, where are you guys staying?" And then, my mate didn't think of any of this, but I was immediately on guard. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're staying in the docks. It's a nice area." And he's like, "Oh, like which hotel?" And then I kind of hesitated a bit. And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to rob you." And I'm like, that's exactly what a person who's about to rob me would say. So I just gave him the name of some random hotel.
Novotel or some shit, bro.
I said Novotel.
There you go.
Is it Novotels in?
Who knows?
There it is. He's like, "Oh, Novotel Albert Dock."
That's the one?
And I'm like, "Mate, that's the one,
room
that's the one."
202, lad.
So then, anyway, we kept walking a bit, and then we came to like behind Anfield. There's a massive park called Stanley Park, and we walked through there a bit. Beautiful park, I must say. And then like me and my friends like, "Oh, this is a really nice park." He's like, "Yeah, during the day it is. Don't come here during night. You'll get stabbed."
At least he warned you.
Probably by him, to be honest.
And then we're walking through the park like a bit, and then he was like, "I'll walk with you guys. The people on this side of the neighborhood are a bit rough."
Yeah.
And then we're walking, and he's like, "So which hotel were you staying at again?" And I'm like, "Mate, like I would have allowed it if he asked once, but the second time he asked, I was like, nah, this kid is up to no good." So again, I just said, yeah, Novotel in the city, man. And then my mate's like, he's probably going to be waiting for us now in the city.
Yeah, he probably is.
And then he took us around for a bit, and then at the end he's like, "Oh yeah, this street right here," and he pointed in the direction of our hotel. He's like, "Yeah, there was a drive-by here the other night." And he's like, and then we're like, "Cool." And I'm like, "All right, we got a tour now." He's like, "All right, have a good stay." And this guy fucking spooked us.
Was that the last you saw of him?
That was the last we ever saw of him.
All right.
That's slightly worrying. Did you end up having any drive-bys or any dicey activities?
Well, the thing is,
in the
right,
night?
so we went out to the city to like have dinner or whatever, and then we did it a couple of times, and we came back, and every single time our Uber drivers were like, "Oh, you guys staying here?" And we're like, yeah. And he's like, "Oh yeah, this is a very rough part of town." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, no, we managed to survive 2 days. Don't know how.
No incidents? You didn't go through to the park at night just to see the local crackheads?
Absolutely not, dude. You could not have paid me to walk through there. I did have an incident with the shower though. So like I said, shared shower.
Yeah.
And the way it worked was it was just a big heating unit box. And so there was 2 dials, one for the water pressure and one for the actual temperature of the water.
Yeah.
So bang, turn it on, put how much pressure you want. Second one, turn up the heat to how much you want. It was 1 to 10, 10 being hot, 1 being cold. Very simple.
Perfect.
Simple terms.
So my mate went to go shower first, and he came back, didn't say anything. So I'm like, all right, whatever, must be good. So I get in there, and the thing was already turned up to 10. So I'm like, oh, this must be like a really...
pressure or the heat?
The heat. Sorry, the
Okay.
heat was turned up to 10. I'm like, oh, this must be like a very, like, it's not that hot. So
You're like,
turned
this is
it
what
up.
he must have used.
Exactly, because I went in right after him. So I turned it on, put it up to 10, put the water pressure on. Scalding hot.
Like, what a jokester.
Burning my skin hot almost. So I'm like, all right, fuck, let me put it down to 9. Did not change an inch. I'm like, all right, fine, let me put it down to 8. Still? I'm literally feeling my skin melting off my bone.
First degree burns
So I'm
happening.
like, fuck, so I put it down to 7. It's now Arctic cold, just pure cold water. So then I had to try and put it somewhere in between 7 or
and
8.
eight.
I could never find the sweet spot. So in the end, I left it on the cold and like splashed myself with cold water and walked out of the shower after a minute.
That's it.
And I came back and I'm like, what the fuck was that? I was like, oh yeah, I should have told you. That's my bad.
Wait, so did he do that on purpose though?
No. I think
So he was
just-
showering in 10. you
Yeah, he
reckon?
put it on the highest and was just showering with the hot.
Wow. Well, maybe you're just got weak skin.
Maybe. Anyway, so
I have a big gripe with showers, like at other places when they make it super complex and like you don't know, which direction is hot or cold. And I've never had a shower where you can like turn the pressure on.
Yeah.
Surely that's gone the full way, right?
the pressure was the full way, but dude,
The heat.
The heat was the problem, man. Like I was oscillating between literally burning to death and freezing to death. There was no in between. Anyway, so Liverpool was fine. The game was good. We drew 1-1. Yeah, it is what it is.
You went to two of the same stadium tour.
We did the stadium tour the day before, and then we did the match day tour, which was slightly different.
What was the
Ever
difference?
so slightly.
Ever so slightly different, but it was still a beautiful experience nonetheless.
What was the difference between the
I
match
can't
day
tell you.
tour?
I honestly
Okay.
can't
Probably
remember.
one extra room or some shit.
It was one. It
Right.
actually was one extra room, and the starting was slightly different. Mate, beautiful though. I know every nook and cranny of Anfield Stadium, so that was beautiful. Next, we went to Portugal. Portugal was great. Had no issues with Portugal. Went to Barcelona next. We did another stadium tour there. Of
should.
The Barcelona camp now. And then I was like, should I wear my Liverpool shirt to this Barcelona
That's
stadium tour?
disrespectful.
I wore my Manchester United shirt to the Barcelona
Really?
stadium tour. Yeah.
Well, we didn't. We decided against it, but the entire way through, we were just making 4-0 jokes, making jokes about Trent Alexander-Arnold, Origi jokes.
To be fair, the jersey I
calling them
wore,
losers.
the jersey I wore was the one they wore when we won the Champions League in 1999.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Bit of that.
We were thinking, well, back when we were Liverpool, we were thinking of buying, maybe I'll buy Origi shirt, he buys a Trent shirt, and we just walk around Barcelona taking the piss out of people. But no, we decided against it.
Go on, antagonize the locals. as
Yeah,
you-
exactly. We thought better against it.
Did you also spend €1,000 like my friend did in Camp Nou?
Unfortunately not.
The photo of Messi virtually
Did you buy
framed.
buy some grass?
Dude, we went
Yeah,
to the,
grass.
we
You
went
got
to
any
the
grass?
merch store in Barcelona, like in the stadium. It was fucking so expensive, dude. Like, so for example, a Liverpool shirt was 80 or 90 pounds, which would have been 120 euros or whatever. A Barcelona shirt, there was 170 euros.
They're the authentic ones.
Doesn't matter, bro. Like, it could have come with Messi. It still wouldn't have been worth it. So we didn't buy anything. I couldn't justify spending that much on a team I didn't care
No
for.
way, yeah.
But for a team that you did care for, how much did you spend?
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No, give us the breakdown, actually. I'm curious about that.
No, it actually wasn't that bad. I think we spent 300-400 at the Liverpool store.
On merch?
Yeah. Well, the jersey
Pounds?
alone, no, in AUD.
I've heard otherwise.
How much did you hear?
No, from the other individual.
How much did he say?
What did Glade say? What
North
did he
of
say?
like 500 at least.
Nah, it was definitely 400.
Couple jerseys, jackets.
I think I spent like 400 AUD.
What did you buy?
Bought a jersey with a name on it, which was alone probably 200.
Yeah.
And then I bought a hoodie and a jacket. And then another shirt for my dad.
And you're telling me that
They were on
those
sale.
three
They were on sale.
items
They were on sale.
were
They had
less than
they were on sale.
$200.
The jackets were on sale.
All right, fair enough.
Actually.
The mathematics, yeah, go on.
So we got back to London like a week later because our missus came. And then I was meant to go buy a shirt for someone else and we went shopping. And then we went to that shop and they didn't have that shirt, but they had more Liverpool merch and they had it on sale. So I did buy more stuff.
It would
there.
be
So
rude
actually-
not to, though. It'd be rude not to.
Actually, in the end, it probably did come to 500 in Liverpool merch.
Well, I was seeing Instagram stories of this guy, and both you were wearing were Liverpool shirts or just different jerseys of different teams.
Yeah, so I bought like heaps of Liverpool merch. And then from here, I took some as well.
Right.
So
okay.
for the first 2 weeks, all I was wearing was Liverpool merch on this trip.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you went to Barcelona.
Barcelona was fine. My issue was with the airport. So our flight was at 11. So like, all right, we get there latest 9:30, an hour and a half before should be enough because we already checked in online.
Local flights as well.
Local flight,
technically.
exactly. So all we had to do was drop our bags. So we got there, dropped our bags, went through the security,
Yep.
got into the terminal. I'm like,
Lovely.
dude, we've still got an hour to kill. Beautiful. Let's go get some food. So we went and got some Spanish food, some beautiful tapas in
Lovely.
the airport. And then we realized we had enough of tapas. So then we went and got some macas as well to cleanse ourselves. So we spent maybe about 40 minutes just doing that. And we're like, all right, whatever. It's like 20 minutes to go. Let's just go board the plane. Like the plane was literally starting to board, but we saw we were group 3. So we were meant to be the last people boarding.
Yep.
So like, all right, whatever. 20 minutes to go. Beautiful. So put our macas rubbish in the bin, start walking towards the gate, go up the stairs. And then we see a massive line. And we're like, there shouldn't be a line here. And then we realized this was immigration.
Oh.
So for some reason, Barcelona airport have their immigration fucking just before your boarding gate. So we rock up and there's one of those snaky lines. And there was like maybe 7
Yeah.
layers. And I get to the security guard. I'm like, so our plane is actually boarding right now. Can we jump through? He's like, there's nothing I can do.
What?
Yeah, he said there's nothing I
Not
can
fast
do.
tracking you.
I think there is something you can do.
He's like, too bad. So me and my friend were just anxiously waiting in that line. 20 minutes becomes 15 minutes, becomes 10 minutes, becomes 5 minutes, and the plane's about to leave. We get to the front, and there was this American guy in front of us. And then like they call, like you go up to the immigration, like there's different lanes and you're meant to line up behind each lane. And the guy was calling him, but the American guy wasn't listening or something. And so the American guy was meant to go. And my mate just fucking pushed the American guy out of the way and just went.
Oh, really?
And then he's like, yeah, saying, come. And the American guy's like, hey, what was this? And Glade just
Tough
looked
luck,
at him.
snooze, you lose.
My mate just looked at him and just shook his head and like gave his passport to the immigration guy.
I could so picture this happening as well.
And I was confused because I was on my phone, so I didn't see any of this happen.
You're like the American geezer, man.
Yeah.
You're not
I'm
paying
hearing the
attention.
American guy like having a go at us. I'm like, what happened? He's like, just don't worry about it. And just grabbed my passport and gave it to the
Get on the
immigration.
plane first and he'll tell you the story.
And so we gave it. Guy stamped our passport and we fucking sprint. And we're running.
You
Dude,
leave the girls?
this fucking... No, the girls weren't here yet. So this
Oh,
is
right.
before the girls joined. Dude, this gate was like in fucking Narnia or something because we ran for dead set 10 minutes.
In the airport.
In the airport, and we get there, and it's like literally final call. They're like, "Are you on this plane to back to London?"
Are they angry at you?
No,
not-
they won't. And then we're like, yeah. And then it was one of the ones where as well, it wasn't even the fucking aero bridge. You had to go down and get a bus to the plane.
Oh.
So we go down, and we're like, I'm literally like about to have a cardiac arrest. That's how fast I was running.
Man's full of tapas.
And then we get tapas and macas, bro. And we get to this bus, and literally the bus was full of people. And it turns out everyone else had made the same mistake we did. There was like
beautiful.
there was like 20 other people who, and like everyone else was running. It was like and because there's a flight to London, so it was a lot of UK people, and they were like, yeah, why was the immigration after the security? And then me and my friend are like passed out, like breathing. I'm like, thank God. Anyway, we were literally the last 20 people onto the plane.
This is your second flight debacle in the space of like 3 weeks.
That other one doesn't
mate.
count. That other one doesn't count. Because I made my flight comfortably.
Have you heard about this? We were in Brisbane, right? Did we tell this story?
I think we did. We did.
No,
we
with
did.
Triple Cheese. I think Triple Cheese
Yeah,
maybe
I feel
told this
like
story.
we have told this story.
But no, anyway, Sen basically the flight was at 6 a.m. Sen decided to leave to the airport at 5:30. Right?
This story gets... There's so much mayo on this story.
It was
Every time.
well, you woke up at 5.
We left at 5.
That's not what I heard. I was obviously not awake at the time. But anyways, they almost the same similar sort of thing. There was a massive line
Right.
boarding the plane, and
Gotcha.
Sen goes to his Qantas lounge while the other two are in the Virgin waiting for.
That should already tell you how much mayo is on this story.
Anyway.
But anyways, you've done it again. You've you and your friend-
That was probably the closest we got to missing a flight.
Just because you went to the UK? Is that why there's immigration?
Exactly, because
Right.
of fucking
Brexit.
Brexit. We had to stamp our passports. I got 2 more quick yarns, if you will.
Please.
Indulge me. So anyway, like we said, we went back to London. The girls joined us. That was fine. Beautiful. Went to London Borough Markets.
Lovely.
Got some strawberry dipped in chocolate. Paid $16 for that. Thank
Bro,
you.
I saw a fucking TikTok about that.
Yeah, so did they.
Some silly bitch was like, everyone around the world is coming to see these fucking chocolate.
that was the
these
exact
fucking
TikTok
strawberries.
we saw.
Brother, I could get those at Max Brenner down the road.
But these were delightful, I will
Wait,
say.
was it the strawberries that was expensive or the chocolate?
Both. So strawberries with chocolate, like fresh, they put melted chocolate on it
Fine.
for £7.50. And there was a massive line for it.
One strawberry.
No,
Nah, like a
cup.
stick, like a cup
Just
or a
cup,
stick.
just
Or
cup.
something.
Okay, fine. That's fair.
Anyway, whatever. We did all that touristy stuff in London. London was fine. Then next we went to Amsterdam. I've got a couple of yarns for Amsterdam, but I'll save them
Here
for
we
maybe
go, lad.
an after dark.
Here we go.
Oh, the Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon. We'll save that for the Patreon. I have one non-insidious story from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So Amsterdam, probably the main thing you do there, smoke some doobies and go see the Anne Frank house. I'll save the doobie story for later. But Anne Frank, you have to book like weeks in advance.
Correct.
So maybe I think 2 months before we left, my mate got on the website, booked the Anne Frank house. He's like, but there was only one day available, and it was the day that we had booked the Heineken tour for, and it was going to be after the Heineken tour. So like whatever, we'll change the Heineken tour to the day after, not a problem. So I booked the Heineken tour, so I was meant to do it. Completely forgot. We got to Amsterdam. So we got to the hotel and I called them up. And I'm like, oh, hey, like, so it was meant to be for the next day. So we got to Amsterdam. The next day we went to do both the Anne Frank and the Heineken. So I'm like,
Yes.
all right, I'll try and change the Heineken to either earlier tomorrow, like the next day, or to today. So I called them up. I'm like, hey, can we do it earlier tomorrow? They're like, we have no spots.
Damn.
I'm like, excellent. Do you guys have any for today? And we're like, yes, we have for 4:30. I'm like, lovely, beautiful. Because the main thing, we didn't want to go drunk to the Anne Frank
That's
house. I feel like it would be
That's
incredibly
distasteful.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
So anyway, we managed to get to the Heineken tour that day. It was a beautiful tour, actually. I don't know if you guys have done it, but
It was lovely. I had a great time.
dude, there's a part of it. There's some, dude, I swear, if you went high, it would be sick because there's like this interactive part where they're like, now you're going to become a Heineken beer. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking
Oh,
about?
that's new. I didn't have that one.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
they took you into this dark room and it's like
yeah.
literally LED screens all around you. And then like you literally go through the fermentation process of a beer.
Yeah.
And then like it's just bright lights and all this shit around you.
I didn't get that. That sounds so sick.
I can't remember.
It seemed pretty new, this part of it.
Yeah, probably not.
So anyway, great part of it. So then we went buy our things, and the next day we're like, all right, Anne Frank time. And firstly, we rocked up. I think might have just missed our cut-off time for the Anne Frank. So let's say if our tickets was at 3, I think we got there at 3:15 or something.
That's pretty late.
That's not just missed it. Just missed is like 3:02.
So anyway, we go. And
That's awfully late.
My mate has the tickets and he goes up and he's like, oh, hey, we're a bit late, but we have tickets for Anne Frank. The guy looks at it, looks at us, and then looks back at the ticket and starts chuckling. And I'm like, oh, is it because we're late? And he's like, these tickets are for yesterday.
Oh, no.
And then all 4 of us look at each other and we're like, what the fuck? How did this happen? But luckily the guy saw he saw the color drain from our faces. And he's like, it's all right. You go talk to my manager. He'll change you and he'll give you for today's tickets. And so thankfully they were very nice and they let us in. But to this day, we don't know who to point the finger at.
Well, obviously the one who booked it,
The
no?
brother that booked it.
But I think I put in our shared spreadsheet, I think I put the Heineken 2 on the wrong day. But look, we tried to work this out for like the next 2 weeks after the trip, and none of us can still work out how this happened.
All right, let me solve it for you, right? The person who booked it is the one in charge of putting it on the spreadsheet, no?
Yeah, and
Because they know
double checking the dates.
You putting the Heineken on the wrong time.
Yeah.
That's a blunder.
Yeah.
But that's
But the
not,
Heineken tour's on you.
Yeah, the Heineken tour's on you. If you
And
miss the
Frank's
Heineken
not on
tour,
you.
correct. So yeah, that's solved now.
Yeah, it was solved.
You go back to your friend and tell her that it's her fault.
No. Wait, what?
No, now you can tell her. Like we've worked it out.
Well, you want me to tell Glade that it was his fault?
Oh yeah, tell Glade it was his fault. Yeah.
Point the finger.
You're like, sorry, Glade, it's actually on you.
Anyway, it doesn't really matter. And then the same day, so we did that at Anne Frank. We're like, oh, let's go see another museum. So there was like another one called the Moco Museum. And so
that's what the museum row wanted us to go to.
what, the sex museum?
That was the only museum he said for us to go to, bro.
It was excellent. It was actually very educational. Did you end up going to the sex museum?
No, but we went to watch a sex show.
That's not the same thing. That's all
Dare I
foolish.
suggest it is the same thing?
Okay, a sex show to me implies people having sex. Are you watching that?
What else is there to watch?
Really? They
Yeah.
do that there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I did not know
Interesting.
that. Fair enough.
We did not partake in that.
No, we just went to the sex
we
museum.
learned. We learned about the culture of Amsterdam. That's what we did.
Yeah, no, same.
We didn't watch fornication right in front of
We
us.
weren't watching pornography, group pornography. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
Anyway, so the Moco Museum, and we were meant to go that night, so we booked it for 7:30. By 7:35, we were having a succulent Indian meal, and we're like, well, we're simply not going to be making this booking. So our friends...
There's a running theme
So our
going
friends-
on with all these stories.
Our friend sent off a quick email to the Moco Museum saying, hey, sorry, one of our friends is feeling unwell.
What museum is this?
It's got like, it's meant to be a modern art museum.
Oh,
They got like
right.
Banksy and stuff like that. Andy Warhol.
Sure.
It was an alright
It's
museum.
all right.
It was alright.
Kill time
Kill
sort of
time.
vibe.
Anyway, we sent off an email saying we're feeling unwell. And then what we did the next morning was we went bright and early with our tickets for the previous day, and we tried our luck again. If it worked for Anne Frank, surely it'll work for Moco. So we went to the door. We're like, hey, we have tickets for yesterday. We were feeling a bit unwell. Is it all right if we come in today? Same thing. Go talk to our manager.
wow.
Talk to this manager. This, stuck up bitch is like, huh, you have tickets for yesterday and you want to come in today? Dude, we looked around the museum. It was fucking empty. There was no one there. And she's like, oh, you bought tickets for yesterday as well? And we're like, well, when else are you meant to buy it, bro? She's like, you should be buying it weeks in advance.
Oh, that's
And
a
then-
bit much.
And we're like, oh, sorry, we're feeling unwell, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, I'll have to see. And she disappeared for a bit. Again, mind you, this was 9 a.m. We were the only people there in this massive museum. And she's like, all right, this is the only time I'm going to allow it. Make sure it doesn't happen again.
This is the only time I'm going to be here. So thank you.
And then we went and walked around this museum. Not the greatest museum, I'll say that. We spent maybe 20 minutes in there. We just bounced. So, yeah. But my life pro tip, if you have a ticket, just...
Yeah,
if you can't make it...
are flexible.
They are very flexible, especially if you're in the Netherlands. They're very flexible. Just go in and, show a bit of humility and be like, sorry, it was an honest mistake, and they'll just usher you in.
But I had a million stories of people trying to get in earlier than their tickets.
I don't think that one works.
It doesn't work at all. They shoo you away. They laugh at you as well.
They laugh at you. I think going after the fact and, if you show some genuine like remorse and like it was a mistake, I think they'll feel bad for you and let you in. Anyway, so after Amsterdam, we went to Italy. Not many yarns there. And then we went to Croatia after. And this is where perhaps the funniest story comes from. Maybe not the funniest, just at the time was kind of funny. So we were in Dubrovnik. No, sorry, we were in Split. And we hired a car. And Split, like the accommodation we had was like basically right in the town and we didn't have a parking spot. So what we did was we had to park on a side street somewhere far away.
Sure.
So we got there, found like literally we mounted the curb and parked in front of someone's house, maybe 5 minutes away from our accommodation, had to take our bags and walk with our bags. So we took all the bags out and then we closed the doors and we're about to walk away. And then I locked the door, except it didn't lock. I'm like, all right, usually when you press the lock button on a car, the car should lock. So we stood there maybe 5-10 minutes pressing the buttons in various ways. I tried from like 10 meters away. From up the road, I tried pressing
Try
it.
putting it in your mouth?
I tried putting it in my mouth. I got the actual physical key out and tried to lock it.
Is this the first time you tried to lock it?
First time we tried to lock it. It didn't lock. Cool. So then
It's a rental though, right?
it was a rental. And we're
alright?
like, yeah.
Not your car, not your problem.
Yeah, it sounds like the rental car problem.
So we're like, all right, whatever, fuck it. Like, let's just walk away. It is what it is. We've locked the driver's side door, and like, it's one of the ones where you have to push the button to start.
Right.
So if you don't have the key, you can't turn it on. So you know what? We've done as much as we can. Let's walk away. And so by this point, the girls already left. They went to go check into the Airbnb, and me and my mate maybe walked halfway through, and then he was online. He was checking. Oh, dude, maybe we didn't close all the doors properly. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? We literally all like closed the doors. Like it should be locking. He's like, nah, let's go try it one more time. So we fucking about turned and walked all the way back with our fucking luggage. And then literally we spent like 5 minutes just opening all the doors and closing it. Tried locking
Slamming
it.
them.
Didn't work.
Fair enough.
And then he's like, what about the boot? And I'm like, what about the boot? It's like, you closed the boot, right? I'm like, of course I closed the boot. He went over, like lightly touched the boot and just fucking sprung
up.
open.
Oh, no.
Senny.
So you were driving the whole way with the...
No, it was right at the end when we took the bags out.
Oh, okay. That
So
makes
anyway,
sense.
we slammed the boot, pressed the button, lo and behold, all the lights come on and the fucking side mirrors close. I'm like, all right, great. So whatever, we left the car there, that was fine. Next day we went out as well. We tried to find parking. We tried to go back to that place. Someone had taken that parking. Like, all right, whatever, fine. So we parked, we drove around for a bit, and then like it was very narrow one-way streets. And so Glad was driving, and like the entire time there was a police behind him. And so like we're trying to scan for parking, but this police was like literally right on our ass. I'm like, fuck, let's just find a parking quickly and then just get out of here. So we parked on this thing, and I think it was right in front of a school or something. It said like Skola. And I'm like, didn't he play for Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, he played for the Spurs, yeah.
He did, right?
Go on.
And I made that exact same joke, and no one understood it.
I'll appreciate it, bro.
And it just said Skola. And then it just had like an X. And we're like, all right, whatever. Just park on the Skola. Don't park on the X. I'm sure it'll be fine. So again, we
So the Skola and the X didn't seem like combined.
No,
it seemed like separate.
It was separate. It was separate entities. Because it was like Skola and then XX.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we parked. I mean, the thing is, we parked on the curb anyway, and like far back from it. So we parked,
Sure.
locked the car, away we went. So the next day was the day we were going to drive from Split to Dubrovnik. So we had to pack all our stuff. And so again, we're walking with all our luggage. And this time, so we had to park further away because we couldn't find that spot again.
Yep.
So maybe it was like a 10-minute walk up a massive fucking hill, down a hill, into some alleyways and stuff. Walking, we get to the school, turn the corner, car's gone.
Oh my goodness.
And me and Glad were
gracious.
walking first. We both stop immediately. I look at him, he looks at me, and he's like, I had a feeling this would happen. And I'm like, fucking so did I.
Skola.
Skola. So
Do you not close the boot properly again this time?
car was locked this time, I will say that. And Glade pulls out a photo, and he took a photo of the car before, and we were comparing phone to street, phone to street, and we're like,
You're in the right
it should
place.
be here. Car should be here. So, well, then we came to the realization, and once the car had gone, I was looking at where we parked, and I'll be honest, it was quite obvious. It was a no parking zone. It was comfortably obvious. So it was, and because I thought it was Skola XX, it was actually X Skola X.
Right.
And we parked beautifully right on top of the Skola.
Oh, no.
So then we had to look, so we're frantically looking up, where the fuck did our car go? We're in a big city, don't know where we are, where could the car go? And so we looked up, our car has been towed in Split. And literally the first website, oh no, so your car has been towed. Try calling this number, your car might be there. So we called them and we're like, do you guys have it was a Peugeot. Do you guys have a Peugeot by any chance? And like, oh, what's the number plate? We gave the number plate. It's like, oh yeah, it's here, come pick it up. And so we looked it up. It was like a 10-minute drive away. And so we had to like, the funny thing is, well, so we needed to get there and we had all of our fucking luggage. So we called down like a taxi drove past, so we called it down. And my mate showed like where the car impound was to the taxi driver and he looked at it. He's like, oh yeah, that'll be an hour walk. And my mate's like, yeah, cool. But can we come in with you and drive? He's like, oh yeah, come in. Like, we don't want directions, mate. Jeez, mate. So anyway, it was like a €10 drive. We go there. He dropped us off in this fucking apartment block. We look around. It's just apartments. I'm like, where's the car impound and where's the office? So literally we dumped all our shit there. Me and my girlfriend stayed and then the other two went. And then apparently they walked in and they saw this very big, hard-looking Croatian man.
You don't fuck with Croats, bro.
No way.
A man that looked like he's committed some war crimes in the Yugoslavian wars.
Yeah.
So they go up and one of our friends, Renuli, likes to, she tries to do the, putting on the charm to try and get out of
The Riz.
The Riz. She's got the Riz.
The Rizzler.
Unfortunately, that Riz did not work on the Slavic man. The man's seen some things, bro.
He's not going to be sweet talked by this Australian. No
No,
way.
exactly. The man killed people in the Balkan Wars.
Slandering this guy. Yeah, go
And so
on.
we were looking up, like it said the fine could go from anywhere from, and so another thing about Croatia is they currently use the euro, but only as of Jan 2023. Before that, they had their own Kronos or some shit. And so we looked at it and said the fine can go from anywhere from, I think it was like 100 Kronos to 5,000 Kronos.
It's a pretty big gap.
It's a massive gap.
What's the exchange rate on those bad boys?
Luckily, it turned out to be only, I think, 50 euros to 200 euros.
Okay.
So like, all right,
Doable.
please.
It's not going to send you bankrupt.
So we went there. Oh, sorry, they went there and they managed to raise a bit. And in the end, the fine ended up being, so you had to pay them their fee for towing the car.
Yep.
Which was the 50 euros, which is fine, sweet. And he's like, but you also have to pay 15 euros to the police.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
No, because apparently what happened was the police saw that we parked in an illegal spot and then they tell the towing company.
I
And so
see.
the towing company charged us for taking the car and then we have to pay a parking fine to the police.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, how do we pay the police? And they're like, if you see a police officer, give him money.
What?
Nah, he also said there's a website you can pay online for. Anyway, so we drove off and for about 24 hours, we were indebted to the Croatian police
By how much? 30
Runaway
bucks?
criminals.
to, about $25.
Okay. That's not bad.
But yeah, not bad. So in the end, that entire ordeal from us realizing we lost the car to then driving off, laughing about it, was about an hour.
Beautiful.
So it was not bad. It was not bad, and we were out of pocket maybe $100 in the
yeah,
end.
that's perfectly fine.
So $100 to have a good story,
Worth it.
worth it, 100% worth it. All right, I'll leave us with that many yarns for today. I've got plenty more.
Cliffhanger.
So anytime, in the next few weeks when we're running out of content,
Hood talk.
We'll wheel out Hood Talk for some more stories. Alrighty, boys, that brings us to the end of a beautiful episode. There's been a lot of, let's say, inconsistencies with our showing up the last few weeks.
When's the last time this trio?
I was trying to think. I can't remember, but well, actually,
But I'm in New Zealand
I was
next
gonna say.
week, so
Enjoy it while it lasted.
that's a one-off, but I'll be back the week after.
it's all right. Kundra will be here next week, so we'll have 3.
Allegedly.
Hopefully. But otherwise, you can check out our previous episodes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can also check us out on YouTube and Where else can they find us, Miguel?
Just everywhere. TikTok,
Everywhere.
mate,
TikTok.
Instagram, the works.
The works. Beautiful. Catch you guys next week.